Hey folks, today we are going to make everybody's favorite novelty way of cooking a bird. That's right, we are going to make the beer can chicken. So, everybody's got a different way of doing it. This works for me. I've cooked dozens and dozens of birds this way. It really works. Hope you guys will try it. But first, I've got to say, it doesn't have to be beer. People have used anything from Coca Cola to apple juice, you name it. It's been tried, it's been done. But I will say that the beer is, in my opinion, the best way because it has ethanol in it. And ethanol boils at 173.1 degrees Fahrenheit. I had to look that up. And basically, it's going to steam your bird from the inside. So the water, the liquid in the beer can does not have to get all the way up to 212 to boil. It boils at 173, and that steams your bird from the inside and makes it really, really tender. But first, we must brine our bird. I've never actually measured the amount of salt that I put in my bird. I just pour until my arm gets tired of shaking the salt. But if I had to guess, I'd say about 2 cups or so. Now, the CDC used to recommend washing your bird before you do anything with it, but they changed that because you're going to cook out any salmonella anyway. Otherwise, you're just splashing chicken juice all over your kitchen. But when you brine it, make sure that the chicken breast side is down. These things have a tendency to float, and the back does not need to be as submerged as the part that we're going to eat. Put that away overnight and open it back up the next day for the barbecue. And in all seriousness, folks, any bird can have salmonella. So when you're done, be sure you spray down your kitchen and with some bleach, Clorox, anything that's going to kill everything because salmonella can make you sick. Now back to the good stuff. Here is your beer. Open it up. You may have not or may have taken a couple of sips of that. We'll leave that to you and your household. But put some water in the pan and just bring that to a boil. Now remember, that's boiling at 173 degrees, not 212. It's still going to be hot though, so you do not want to pick this up by hand. It will burn you. Trust me on that. Use some tongs. And if you don't have one of these little stands, buy one. They're really cheap. I'll put a link in the description. They're only like $5 or $6. Very, very useful. And folks, there is no graceful way to do this. Just plop your chicken on there. I'm trying to keep one hand clean. Good luck with that. And there is your beer can chicken propped up. Some people can just prop it on the beer can and you're fine. This little prop is worth every penny. Now, what in the world am I doing with a potato? Well, I'm carving this down to try to fit the body cavity where the head used to be. And what that does is seal the body cavity in so that the steam from the beer is captured inside. It cooks by steaming it from the inside as well as the radiant heat from the grill on the outside and makes a much, much more tender piece of meat when we're done. Now I'm going to spray this down with some cooking oil as a binder. Since doing this show, I've found out that cooking spray like PAM contains isobutane and propane as a propellant. That's like lighter fluid and barbecue grill fluid as a propellant. I don't want that in my kitchen, so I got rid of it and just bought a little sprayer. Now, add any seasoning that you want. I prefer Paul Prudhon's Poultry Magic. You can get it at pretty much any grocery store, and it's absolutely delicious. It's just a blend of a bunch of spices. It's just really good. Trust me on that. Now we need to take the top grate off of our grill because the bird just simply won't fit, and go ahead and fire it up, scrub it down, and place our bird in it. Of course, let your grill heat up for a few minutes. That's just basic standard practice. Give your bird a little pat there, close him up. Now we're going to use this fancy thermometer that was a lovely Christmas gift from my wife. It's called the Meter. It works really well. Just stick your probe down in there, thickest part of the chicken breast, and it will get hot to the touch. The silver part is ceramic. The top part, is metal. The top part is ceramic. And it broadcasts a Bluetooth signal to your phone. You do have to download an app, but works as a remote thermometer, and it works really well. Besides the fact that I couldn't figure out how to get it from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Either way, it worked. There is our bird that's fully cooked. Isn't he pretty? Now, let's take our tongs. Notice I'm using metal tongs because this is very hot. I don't want plastic to melt. And we have reached 165 degrees internal temperature. So let this guy rest for about 10 minutes or so. You don't want all those juices leaking out, and start to carve it up. We should probably do a different show on carving the bird. Actually, we have done a turkey. I like to lift the wings up, pop them out, just run your knife through the joint, then run your knife through, this is really easy, between the thigh and the body, and that joint will pop out very easily. It's already cooked. It's already tender. If you see any pink, it's because it's been steamed, not ready at heat. But if you have any doubts, stick your thermometer in it. Make sure it's at least 165. That way all the salmonella and all the other nasties have been cooked. Here I'm just running my knife down the, I don't know what you call that little bone in the middle, little sternum maybe, and then the wishbone is at the top. You just run your knife around, and a lot of times you can just get this halfway and then tear out the chicken breast, and that works really well. But keep in mind that you also have the tenderloin back there, or the chicken tender, whatever you want to call it. So you don't want to tear up that piece of meat. It is a different muscle, and it's considered the most tender part of the chicken. So use your tongs. That's not the prettiest job I've ever done, but hey, it works. And folks, if you have enjoyed this video, I ask you to go ahead and like the video, subscribe, make some comments. Really helps us out. Ask any questions. I really do enjoy replying to questions and comments that y'all make. So hope you try this. It's super simple, and definitely a crowd pleaser if you have a few guests over.